because whenever a university-related issue popped up on the programme, I would speak to it and speak about it, drawing entirely upon my experiences, which are now almost 30 years old. And my producer is 27. Her experiences of university bear no relationship whatsoever to mine. So, I mean, much as it pains me to say things like this out loud, she is supremely qualified to comment on university issues. I am barely qualified at all. And then, of course, you cast an eye over the political landscape and you've got a bunch of men who are even older than me, mining on university policies based upon the experiences they had up to 40 or 50 years ago. And here we are, stuck in the middle with you. So, try to do two things. I like the overview. I like the personal perspective on this. What do you think of it, drawing upon your personal experience? But then, you know, make like a champagne socialist and step out of your own immediate sphere and try to focus on what would be for the greater good, right? And that puts me in quite a tricky situation, because I got expelled from school in the Easter holidays before my A-levels, and my mock results contained more than one letter U, which is an actually almost unbelievable achievement, to get an ungraded in an A-level. And then obviously the kick up the backside that getting slung out of school delivered to my teenage self saw me move into Birmingham Library and essentially drag myself over the line for A-levels, and I ended up doing all right. So I don't know where I'd sit on this one. I may not even have been graded. The teachers get to decide your A-level grades, but you got expelled from school in the Easter holiday. So did you see what I mean? I'm just mentioning that because it highlights, I think, really powerfully the pointlessness of drawing exclusively upon how this would suit you personally, rather than trying to extend the inquiry into society at large. I like conversations like this, but I recognise now, as I didn't recognise for a decade or so when I conducted them on this radio programme, that my own experiences count for very little in the context of the bigger picture. I don't know. I would cautiously suggest that this is about the best, or not the best. All I would cautiously suggest is it's got to be better than last year. All right? It's got to be better than last year. Last year was an unmitigated debacle. It's quite weird, isn't it, that you know, the news can talk about last year's A-level debacle without really stopping to pause and wonder how the hell Gavin Williamson has still got his job. But that's a conversation for another day. You know, James O'Brien can go away and shut up. What I want you to tell me today is whether you like this idea and why, okay? And I make no apology for adding this supplementary to the question. Is it, as almost everything this government seems to do, is it actually going to heap more disadvantage on those who were already born a lap behind kids like me? 0345 6060 973 is the number that you need. And teachers, as ever, particularly welcome. It's 10:16.
LBC.
Everyone's heard of My Pillow. After all, they've sold 50 million My Pillows worldwide. But here's our best offer ever. Buy one My Pillow, get the second My Pillow absolutely free. Get the most comfortable night's sleep or your money back with our 60-day guarantee. Plus, My Pillow is made in the UK and comes with a 10-year warranty. It's our best offer ever. Buy one, get one free. Visit mypillow.co.uk and use promo code SLEEP.
My Pillow. What's better than a van with 0% interest? An award-winning van range with 0% interest. What's better than switching to electric? Switching to a new all-electric Vauxhall Vivaro E that's won International Van of the Year 2021. What's better than a van? A Vauxhall van that carries British business. Search Vauxhall Vans today. Conditional sale, business users only. VAT on total transaction price payable. Subject to status, T's and C's, 18 plus, Vauxhall Finance.
You serve, you backhand, you topspin, you get your phone out. Oh, multitasking. You switch energy. You switch customers have their energy usage saved, so you can switch in as little as one click. What you do while you switch, well, it's up to you. You game, set and match.
Visit uswitch.com now to switch in as little as one click. Uswitch. Energy, broadband, mobiles.
These are not just hot cross buns. These are award-winning M&S hot cross buns. Try the melt-in-the-mouth extremely chocolatey buns bursting with rich chocolate chunks, or our uniquely spiced luxury buns with Fostisa currants and lemon peel. Any 2 packs for £2.50. Selected stores only. Prices may vary. T's and C's apply.
Need a website for your business? Then you need 123reg. With our new website builder starter tool, fill in a quick form and you can create a site in less time than it takes to brew a cup of tea. And it's just £1 a month. A website for £1. Yeah, like £1.
What don't you get, Gary?
I thought stuff like that was expensive. Terms and conditions apply. Register any business name at .co.uk for just 99p to get your one-page site online. Pricing .co.uk for more information. £1 is crashing through the wall isn't going to help anyone. Direct line landlord emergency added to your policy. We're on it to send a rather super plumber in 4 hours and guarantee they'll use the doorbell. We can also assemble locksmiths, glaziers, engineers. Search Direct Line Landlord Emergency. We're on it. Direct Line.
Residential properties. Optional add-on up to 1,500 per caller. Extreme weather conditions may extend response time. Underwritten by UK Insurance Limited.
Your calendar has never looked so bare. Your weekends are empty, waiting to be filled, waiting for excitement and things to go ahead. Like Volvo's brand new car event, where you can get 0% APR finance and 3 years servicing for just £99. So show your appointment between now and the 8th of March. Visit volvocars.co.uk to book your place and find out more about our further savings. Volvo, our showroom doors may be closed, but our virtual ones aren't.
Available on new cars only. Participating retailers. 50% deposit on minimum £8,000. Conditional sale. Terms, eligibility, guarantee requirements and conditions apply. Volvo Car Financial Services. Servicing offer. T's and C's apply.
Leading Britain's conversation. LBC with James O'Brien.
20 minutes after 10 is the time. You're listening to James O'Brien on LBC, where the question is, what do we think about this then? It can't possibly be worse than last year, is my cautiously optimistic conclusion about this year's plans for A-level students and GCSE students. End-of-year exams will be voluntary. Exam boards test papers for every subject. Teachers to choose whether or not to use them to inform pupils' predicted grades. So, problem number one, as someone who is in favour of more autonomy for teachers and trusting head teachers to make decisions for the school that they know better than anybody else, on the one hand, but on the other hand, of course, if it's a nationwide exam system, then too much independence and autonomy on the part of teachers can undermine the universality of the whole shebang. Gareth is in Kingston. Gareth, what can you tell me?
G'day, mate. We've got 2 boys. One's 15 doing his GCSEs, and one's 14.
Okay.
One's in a grammar school, one's not. Both really good schools. They're doing their utmost and doing their best, but we're just at 6s and 7s for these poor kids, mate. I think that being not in the school, they haven't been able to feed off each other. My youngest child, 14-year-old, he's really struggled with this distance learning. And, you know, it focuses on the house, the stress, because, you know, we're not teachers. We're trying to support them the best way possible, but it's just. We don't know where to turn. Obviously, the schools are doing the best they can.
It's a nightmare, mate, and you've got me sounding all Australian now, Gareth. but I mean, I do want to focus in. I don't want to sound ungrateful, and we'll do plenty of call-ins about the overall education system. Are either of your lads doing exams this summer?
No.
Right.
No. They're not. They don't.
Well, then the only words of consolation I can offer to you are it could be worse. At least they're not being judged and examined on the back of this almost, I mean, 2 academic years. It might be 1 calendar year, but 2 academic years of absolute chaos and confusion.
The main focus is on the eldest one, obviously in GCSE year. And I think they've been the most disadvantaged of any year I can think of. I'm not going to be over it forever, but they haven't had any structure.
And again, I mean, it's sounding like I'm telling you to wind your neck in. I promise you I'm not. But by dint of the sort of schools that are at, they're already ahead of a lot of the country. Grammar schools in particular, Kingston I know quite well. I've got friends over there. Then the choices of schools that you have when you move to secondary is exemplary. There'll be people listening to this who think you're in the front of the pack. You see?
No, mate. No, I can. We feel for everybody, mate. Ours are struggling with the advantages they've got.
That's a great point, and there it is.
God knows what the other kids are like, mate.
No,
to be honest.
there you go. I'm so grateful that you said that out loud. You can acknowledge that your children are both lucky and privileged and advantaged, and also that they're having a really tough time. What comes across as you add those two phenomena together, inevitably, unless you are one of these people who was born on third base but thinks they've scored a home run, is that you might be having a tough time, but other people are having a tougher time, which is in many ways the essence of coronavirus for me. I can't sit here and say I feel lucky in lockdown, or I feel lucky that my children are in homeschool with teachers that are really on it, but I am lucky. It just doesn't feel lucky because you're comparing it to where you would be if there was no coronavirus. Gareth, I promise you we'll do broader phone-ins about the overall education system at many points in the not too distant future, but I just want to zone in today on the kids and the parents and the cohorts and the teachers who